standing in the wings, all prepared to start. Usually I'm tense, a pounding in my heart, but now I'm not afraid. Those butterflies are gone. My act is looking great. I can't wait to go on. Hi everybody, Ally Waldman here. And you think that's how Barbara's feeling right now? You think Barbara's feeling like she can't wait to go on tonight? Today is February 24th, 2013. It's Oscar Day, and welcome to Sunday with Ally, the Barbra Streisand Videocast. And this is a very, very exciting day because tonight our Barbara will be appearing at the Academy Awards. She will be performing, and this is the first time in 36 years since she sang Love Theme from A Star Is Born at the Academy Awards that she will be singing and performing on the show. And this is actually only the second time that she's ever done it on the Oscars, because she never did it before A Star Is Born. She had opportunities. She nearly did it for The Way We Were. But for whatever reason, whether it was because she was filming Funny Lady, which is where the prelude to Let's Hear It For Me comes from, or whether she was too nervous to sing The Way We Were in 74, which actually it was from 73, but the show was on in 74. She didn't sing Funny Girl from Funny Girl, probably because she was too nervous that night because she was nominated for Best Actress. Which could have also explained 1973 with The Way We Were. She didn't sing I Finally Found Someone, although she considered it. She didn't do either of the songs from Yentl, although, again, if she probably had been nominated for Best Actress or Best Director, she probably would have. So this is a very, very special night. Now, speaking of special, the two producers of the Oscars this week, Craig Zadan and Neil Meron, came out and said that Barbara was going to blow people away, that she had something very, very special planned. As a matter of fact, the quote was, this is from Barbara, their quote, I love the fact that you announced me but didn't announce what I would be doing, because I really want to surprise people when I come out as to what I'm going to be doing. Now, that came out, I believe, this week on Monday or Tuesday. Then, I think it was Thursday, a reporter by the name of Mark Malkin, who writes, or who does his shtick for E! Online, came out and said Barbara is definitely doing The Way We Were, and that it's part of the In Memoriam sequence. Okay, I'm going out on a limb here, folks, and I could be dead wrong, but I don't think he knows what he's talking about. I don't believe Barbara's doing In Memoriam. I do believe she's going to do something special. It may include The Way We Were, but it's not just going to be The Way We Were. Now, maybe it'll be the medley that we heard in the Brooklyn concert, the Through the Eyes of Love, The Way We Were. Maybe it's been augmented and expanded. I just don't think that you hype something as special and then have Barbara stand there and all these pictures of dead people go by. That sounds counterproductive to me. If you're going to have Barbra Streisand there, you're going to want to use her in a very positive way and to create something spectacular. Now, as anybody who's attended the concerts of the last few years, and certainly the Brooklyn concert, Barbara knows how to make a showstopper moment. She's good at it. She's had a really good shot at it. I'm more likely to believe that she's going to do some kind of a medley. Like I said, maybe it'll include The Way We Were, maybe it'll include a little bit of Star Is Born, maybe it'll include a little Don't Rain on My Parade or My Man. I just don't think she's coming out there to just sing The Way We Were. And if she was singing The Way We Were, would she need days and days of rehearsal? Would she need to meet with, Bill Ross and the producers to figure out how they're going to sing The Way We Were? I mean, Barbara's been singing The Way We Were for nearly 40 years. And plus, she's rehearsed at least twice this week that we know about. I don't think she needs that much rehearsal to sing The Way We Were. It's got to be something special. And she also is working with her guy who worked the teleprompter at her TV specials, at her concert specials, or concerts. So again, if you have a teleprompter, that usually implies that you're doing, something a little bit more elaborate. I think it would be, like I said, I'm going out on a limb. I think it's going to be something special. I really hope it's going to be something special. And I kind of put it to you this way, folks. If it just turns out to be The Way We Were, I'll be happy, but a little bit disappointed. Because they've built it up and they've created the expectations that it's something more than that. And that's what I want. Now, I know that's because I'm a diehard fan. You're a diehard fan. We'd love the whole show to be Barbra. I've just read a few things this morning that some people are just thrilled that she's going to be there, and if she sings The Way We Were, that'll be really great because they love The Way We Were. So that's what's going on. Okay? Now, let's see what else is going on. Now, there's some Blu-ray information coming out, or has come out. A Star is Born came out. Full disclosure, folks, I don't have a Blu-ray player. I'm sorry. With all of my, service in my life, I have not been able to keep up with technology. I don't have a nice Blu-ray player. I don't have a nice HD TV. I don't have a whole beautiful system. I wish I did, but I don't. So I really can't review the Star is Born Blu-ray, except to tell you secondhand that I hear it's beautifully done. Now, I will tell you this, a couple of the reviews that have appeared online have just been killing A Star is Born. And it's so funny to me because this is exactly what happened in 1976 when the movie came out. They just kill this movie. For some reason, critics are like, lions attacking a zebra when it comes to A Star is Born. They cannot wait to rip it to shreds, to say how it's not good enough, and Barbra's not good enough, and she doesn't look like, she's not as good as Judy in the George Cukor version of A Star is Born, yada 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 yada. Critics have never ever appreciated A Star is Born the way fans have. So my recommendation: ignore the critics. If you loved A Star is Born, and I'm talking to you, Robin Lippman, go out, buy it, enjoy it. The music is great. Evergreen is fantastic. Woman in the Moon is fantastic. With One More Look at You, before Barbra starts dancing like Mick Jagger's, it's great. And it was filmed beautifully. Robert Surtees' cinematography is gorgeous. And as I was talking to Matt Howe of Barbra Archives this week, we both agreed A Star is Born is really a film of its time. It came out in 1976. It reflects 1976 values. That was the middle of the women's liberation era, and Esther represents a woman who wants everything, just like she sings about. She wants to have a good relationship. She wants to, she asks him to get married because it's when she wants to be married. She wants a career, but the career is not going to define her. She mentions she wants to have children. There are a lot of touch points in that film that reflect 1976 values. And in the same way that the Judy version in 1954 reflects 1954, because in Judy's version, Esther is ready to give up her career for Norman Maine. Esther is not ready to give up her career for John Norman Howard. And that was a big difference. So, anyway, I digress. Star is Born. It looks like the booklet is gorgeous. If you want to get it, go get it. I will probably get it on the hope that someday soon I will have a Blu-ray player, or at least the money to buy a Blu-ray player and a television to go with it. But until then, I'll stick with what I've got. Speaking of Blu-ray, Dolly is also coming out on Blu-ray That one's coming out on April 2nd. And it's going to include the 1969 featurette, which I don't know if any of you have seen the 1969 featurette that came out. It is, in a word, disappointing. There's no narration. There's no dialogue per se. It's mostly shot in what's called a cinema verite style, and it's mostly just the filming of the big parade number with a camera capturing images of Walter and Barbara and Gene Kelly and Michael Kidd, and no explanation as to what's going on, unless they found a different featurette. I'm telling you about the one that I know that came out at the time that has been circulating, a very, very bad bootleg version, and it's not particularly exciting. Maybe this version is a different version, maybe it's more exciting. The extras also include a thing called Directing Dolly, Gene Kelly Remembered. I love Gene Kelly. I think it'll be interesting to see exactly what's included in it, because to be honest with you, Dolly was not the greatest thing that Gene Kelly ever directed. Singing in the Rain was, and On the Town, which he co-directed both of those with Stanley Donen. Although if you listen to Stanley Donen, he says that Gene Kelly did nothing, which of course is complete bullshit. Stanley Donen waited till Gene Kelly was dead to say those things, which makes me think that Stanley Donen is a jerk. But but he's also a good director. I have to give him credit for that. He did direct Funny Face with Audrey Hepburn and Fred Astaire, which is a great musical. But back to Gene Kelly. It'll be interesting to see what's on this documentary, what footage they include. Maybe they have some behind-the-scenes stuff. What I would like to see somebody do, and nobody's done it, is there was a really, really good interview that Barbra did in I believe it was 1968 or 69, about, it was a radio interview, and it was about her approach to playing Dolly and what she was, doing with the part and elements and how she approached it. The fact that she never really liked the Broadway show, but once she signed to do the movie, then she needed to find a way to present this character and really, find the essence. What I think is ironic is that all these years later, most people don't even remember that Carol Channing played Dolly for all these performances on Broadway, because let's face it, none of those performances have been preserved except on the original cast album and probably some scattered videotapes here and there. But Barbra's version lives on and on and on, and she is the Dolly that most people know. So how ironic is that? Anyway, let's move on. There was a item this week that apparently Josh Groban was doing promotion for his new album, and excuse me, and he mentioned that he will be on Barbra's new duets album, the one coming out probably later this year. The one that is likely going to be Barbra and all men. We know Willie Nelson, we know Sting has been discussed, we know Babyface is producing with Walter Afanasieff, and now we know that Josh Groban is singing on it. So that should be interesting. I would love to find out if Jason is also going to be on that album. I suspect he is. So Jason, we can then hear Jason and Josh. The two, because I said Jason Gould when he first sang at the Brooklyn concert, kind of sounded a little bit like Josh Groban. Now we can kind of hear, side by side what they sound like singing with Barbra. Now, as I told you, there's going to be an announcement probably in the next couple of weeks between now and the Lincoln Center event where Barbra's getting the Chaplin Award. I believe that we're going to get an announcement. It's going to be about Gypsy, and I'm sticking to my guns on that one, folks. So be aware, and keep tuning in, because I'll certainly talk about it next week. Also, next week, you can guarantee that I will be talking about Barbra's performance on the Oscars tonight. A few more items and then we'll get into memorabilia. The Guilt Trip, the date for the Guilt Trip DVD release in America is April 30th. It's going to include, as I told you last week, like 10 cutscenes, a different opening, an alternate ending. The very interesting thing about the Guilt Trip cover art, or at least what they're showing as the cover art, is that it's the picture that was in some bus posters that shows Barbara clutching Seth Rogen's head and her eyes are closed. Now, I have heard that Barbara hated that image. So I'm shocked that that's the image that's going to end up on the DVD, unless that's simply a mock-up and when the DVD comes out, it's going to be the other artwork that we are more familiar with. We'll wait and see. Finally, on a somewhat sad note, Josh Brolin, James' son, and Diane Lane, his wife, announced this week the end of their marriage. They were married, I think it was 8 or 9 years. Kind of sad because clearly, you know, it's part of Barbara's family. But it's considered, they're saying it's an amicable breakup. They're not mad at each other. It's just, you know, I guess it's reached the end of the line. And so, kind of sad. However, somebody pointed out, like, would Barbara walk the red carpet tonight at the Oscars? And if she did, would somebody, you know, ask her about Josh and Diane? Two answers to that. One, yeah, they probably would ask her. And two, she probably is not going to walk the red carpet. Barbara doesn't like doing red carpets. She even made a point of saying recently that she doesn't like the idea that walking the red carpet, they have advertising behind you and you end up advertising some product that you have nothing to do with. But also, it's almost like a meat market to walk the red carpet. Barbara doesn't need to walk the red carpet and tell people, yes, I'm wearing Donna Karan, and yes, these are my, you know, this is my jewels from Harry Winston or whatever. Barbara doesn't use Harry Winston's jewels. Barbara wears her own jewelry. But I would not imagine, since she's going to be performing, I don't think she'll walk the red carpet. I think she'll probably come in through the back, be in the back, in a dressing room, preparing for whatever her big performance is tonight. Also, I would estimate, this is purely my guess, guys, she's probably not going to be on in the first hour. Probably more like the second hour, between 10 and 11 East Coast time. That's just my guess. Now, let us get to memorabilia. Now, as I told you, Hello Dolly, the DVD that's coming out, has some kind of funky artwork. It looks like they used a picture of Barbara from the Hello Dolly number, but it's a different shot because she's not dancing in the same formation as the waiters behind her. Then there's a little insert picture of her and Walter, and this is not at all the original artwork. Now, the original artwork, as you know, was done by, I believe, Fred Amsel. I'm going to show you. This is the original artwork, which of course is on the album. Now, this is not the original album. This is the later version of the album, and you can tell because it has no gatefold. But I'm going to show you, here is the original with the gatefold. Ta-da! Now, I have to be honest with you guys. I thought this was a terrible gatefold. Why would I want to open up the gatefold and see the stupid parade number? I wanted to see Barbara. There wasn't enough Barbara in here. Plus, there were these were the lyrics to the songs. No, nothing about the movie. Now, this album was put out by 20th Century Fox Albums. I'll show you the disc. Gosh, I haven't taken this thing out in years. There's the original vinyl. And they went under. And then this whole album was eventually re-put out on CD by a company called Bay City. And the sad part is, folks, that this album may never, it really needs to be reclaimed. It needs to be recaptured, probably by Columbia and Sony, and made part of the Barbra Streisand catalog. Because say what you will about Dolly as a project, it's some of Barbara's best music and best recording ever. So that's Dolly. I like that artwork better, but clearly they're going for more realistic images by using photographs. Now let's talk about photographs. Take a look at this. This is one of my little favorite things. This came out probably in the mid-70s. It's a picture of Barbara as Katie Morosky, of course, from The Way We Were. I love that picture. I love that smile. It's so natural. And I don't know where, I think I got this probably in a mall somewhere, but it's beautiful, isn't it? Just love her. Now, speaking of posters, here's something fun. Read this one. 20 years ago, critics raved, America cheered. What did they cheer for? They still do. The Barbra Streisand specials. My name is Barbara. Color me Barbara. And let me show you the poster. This is the first video release for the Barbra Streisand TV specials. I want to show it to you in parts. See there? See there? Oh, let me stand up. My name is Barbara. These were just the first two. But look how beautiful that is. Is that not a beautiful poster? History repeats itself, presenting the Streisand specials. I love this poster. I love those specials. Those were really special specials. And the wonderful thing about My Name is Barbara and Color Me Barbara is you can watch them today and they are completely timeless. Completely timeless. Oh, maybe you might say, oh, well, when she sings Gotta Move, it looks kind of funky and she's wearing sequins on her eyes and she's dancing in a funky kind of way. But you know what, folks? She looks fantastic. And she sounds fantastic. And nobody makes specials like that anymore. Nobody. Nobody. And finally, before we say goodbye, last week I mentioned to you about the Barbra Streisand cards. Remember I showed you a couple of Barbra cards? And I told you that, remember this one? Okay. And this one. These were Barbra cards. Well, a couple of people were curious and they asked me if I have any more. Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I have about 25 sets of these cards, and they're sticking together. They're so well done. There's All Night Long, Hello Dolly, Funny Girl, Yentl, Star is Born, The Way We Were, The Main Event, and On a Clear Day. There are 8 cards. It's called the Barbra Card Set Movie Characters. And I was going to post this online, but my camera's on the blink, so I decided to do it this way. If anybody would like a set of these and would like to make a donation to my Nothing's Impossible project, I will be happy to send these to you as a gift. We're going to make it let's make it a minimum donation of $15 for the set. It'll come nicely packaged. If you're sending it in America, $15 flat. If you're from overseas, add $5 for postage if you don't mind. And just to remind everybody, where are you? Here you go. This is where you can go to make the donation. And like I said, just mention to me in your email note that you'd like a set of the cards. Like I said, I have about 25 sets to go, and I'll be happy to mail it to you, okay? And that way you'll be helping me out, you'll be helping out Sunday with Ally, and you'll get something fun in exchange. So, oh my goodness, it's 25 minutes, 25 seconds. Like, I can't believe how much time has gone by. I'm going to say goodbye now. Next week we'll talk all about the Oscars. And until then, let's wish Barbara a broken leg tonight. Because as you know, in show business, when somebody goes on, you wish them break a leg. Okay? So till next week, this is Ally Waldman, hoping to feel a lot better. I mean, I didn't want to go into it, folks, but still could be feeling a little better. But I'm always better when I'm talking to you. So till next week, Ally Waldman signing off, and I'll see you next week. Good luck, Barbara.